everyone on the lovely presentation. And thank you for the panelists to be present and very interactive before the session. We've been enjoying a lot of amazing presentations since this morning and this afternoon. And the topic we are going to talk about is the breaking down the basics, how to introduce AI concepts to beginners, how to make this all technical things very easy for the beginners, and beginners not only kids or child but different kind of beginners. And we do have amazing experts coming from around the world. I think more than 15 hours or 19 hours flight, 10 hours flight. So they are give them like a couple of applause to and to thank him also, to thank them all to be present today. I will present everyone before asking him, her, because they have like amazing bios. I will start by Dr. Mary, which she's coming from Hong Kong and has over 20 years of experience teaching students of all ages. But she's enjoying working with kids and little ones, as well as training schools principals and teachers. She is the founder of Bunny Kids Learning and the author of award-winning English learning programs, including Bunny Kids Phonics. Dr. Mary holds dual doctorate from Spain and France. And she has worked internationally as a musical director, a playwright, and translator, and currently advises school and education organization on curriculum development. Before continuing your presentation, I will ask you first question, and maybe we can continue to share more achievement from your side. What does, from your side, AI for beginners really mean in your field, and after, why it does really matter to you?
So for just now, follow up with the presentation just now. Okay, so as we all clearly know that AI is not taking over our roles as teacher. And I think especially for early childhood education. And that's the reason why at the beginning I chose to stay in the field of early childhood education. It is because I always think that early intervention is the most important thing. Because once I start teaching primary and secondary, and then I found it's really difficult to change some core value. Okay, and then you need more work. So if start early is always the best. Okay, so for AI, now it's in the AI era. For me, I regard it as a supplement, but not a substitute. Okay, so it is something very important for repetition at home. So it is because parents obviously have no time to doing those reviews before the old time. So nowadays, research saying that a kid 3 to 6 years old, so they can have around an hour, so the internet time or the technology, those device time, so if you spend maybe 15 minutes for certain subjects, so then probably it would be a good way to assist them to learn, so for beginners. But of course, co-viewing is the important thing as well. Yes,
it's a co-voyage with the little kids, yes, between parents and little learner. Thank you so much. It's kind of supporting and co-creating a new word for the little ones, not letting them only to the
don't just let them read, let them look. Okay, you watch. No. But so even though it's for Asian country, we've got helpers. So then they are you have to sit next to her to guide her. Okay, so we're watching, and also of course we have to make good choices. Okay, of the materials.
Thank you so much. I will link with Omar Valerio, CIO, CTO, and CISO, with over 30 years of experience, very large. I would blow with your experience in education sector, leading enterprise scale IT operations, cybersecurity architecture. This is like very like thinny and critical area about the AI, and the network systems engineering with a deep expertise in data centers, infrastructures, Microsoft 365 MVP, and also Cisco, VMware, and ethical hacking. You are a speaker at the Global Technology Conference and recognized like MVP. And please, I will let you to explain this because very specific to your to the IT world. MIE expert and Global Microsoft Showcase School mentor with the specialist in network and the software systems engineering. He is recognized innovator and advisor, honored 5 consecutive years as one of Palmetto-based top CIO, CTO, CISO, and featured on the cover of the EdTech magazine. And you serve on multiple advisory boards. I have many questions for you. The first one is, how can professionals with no technical background start using AI safely and confidently?
Well, thank you for the introduction. Thank you, everyone, to be here. Very interesting question, especially me coming from the IT background. What I'm gonna basically tell you is what I'm doing at my school. I come from a private school in Miami. It's a pre-K to 12. And as we all know here, AI is just not something new. AI has been here for a while. It's just that it's moving so fast now. So my journey at the school was started 5 years ago, even before COVID. I started introducing AI. And what I saw as a Microsoft MVP, which Microsoft MVP, what we do, we provide a lot of feedback to Microsoft on the different products. We do a lot of different beta testing and all the products that before they come out. So we keep seeing what AI, what's gonna do in the future. So with that said, what I started doing is starting from training, okay, those non-technical people on this platform. How did I do that? My goal was basically a lot of communication, okay? Educate the board, educate the executives on what this tool was gonna help them to do. With that said, I started very, very simple, okay? With basically the tools on how to summarize emails, how to create a lesson plan, how to summarize a meeting, okay? Things like that. And after that, what I did, I grabbed a bunch of teachers that are more tech savvy, and I created cohorts, okay? With the cohort, I started training all these teachers, which took years, a year, you know, every month we used to meet, do professional development with the teachers. And at the same time, we started teaching them how to create different agents. Now, the agents, we started building these agents to train the agent on simple tasks to do for them. Like, again, like creating a lesson plan, creating a meeting. And aside from that, one of the tools that I started using as a beta tester was, probably you guys heard about it, is Microsoft Copilot, which is the Copilot Studio where you can actually go in and build all these different agents and start assigning the agents to different ages. So I created different agents in elementary, middle school, and high. And I started having these teachers train all the other teachers on how to create all these different agents and make the other teachers feel comfortable. As we all know, teachers don't like change. We don't like change. But unfortunately, we're in an era right now that things are changing very rapidly. So we have to adapt. We have to change that culture at our organization. I'm being blessed at my place that, you know, it's a mid-sized school, so I'm being able to train, make it easier for me. So my advice to everyone is, what is the best thing to do to train someone and bring people that are not tech savvy into the AI era? is to communicate, make them feel comfortable, show them the tool, grab them by the hand, tell them not to be afraid. Use it as simple things for, again, emails, lesson plans. Think about a video or something that the kids can do. We start from pre-K, pre-K3. Those kids are already learning how to create little videos and different platforms that we utilize in our LMS systems. So those are a few of the things that I've been doing at my school. And right now, to be honest with you, after we're on our 5th year, we've been very successful with that platform. Our kids, we've been named a Microsoft Showcase School for 9 consecutive years. The only school in the nation in US that has been able to receive that recognition because of the way we basically are using our curriculum, using AI with the technology, and teaching our students, which is very important, digital citizenship, okay? With digital citizenship, those students will learn how to utilize the tools and how to provide the correct prompts to the tools. And also, they will learn that the tool is there just to provide support, that the tool is not there to replace them. It is what is called just a supportive tool, and that's why with us, we use Copilot. And I said, you know what a Copilot is? Yes, when you get on a plane, you have the main pilot, which is you, and you have someone right next to you helping you on how to do your task.
Thank you so much. So in 2, 3 AI tools that you highly recommend, just like the easiest ones that you can recommend to beginners will be?
I will say for us, we will be Copilot. We're also
Copilot.
using other tools like Canva for
Yeah,
the students.
Canva.
We're also using Adobe tools.
Adobe tools.
And we're using Designer for all the video editings and stuff like that. So
Thank you so much. Thank you. Dr. Siham Al-Haidar, pleased to have you with us. You are an award-winning associate professor at King Khalid University in Saudi Arabia and multidisciplinary leader with 15 years expertise in education, semiotic, sociolinguistics, and cultural preservations. As a former dean, you led strategic academic initiative and global partnerships backed by Fulbright scholarship in applied linguistics. You are dedicated to preserving Saudi heritage, and you use generative AI and innovative pedagogy to amplify the global relevance. Thank you, Dr. Siham. My first question to you is, you are working with organizations and universities and more. What does the AI for beginners really mean in your field, and why does it matter now to you?
First of all, thank you so much for your introduction about me, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm very happy to be on this panel among my wonderful friends here. And I can answer, before answering your questions, I want just to reconfirm or reassure this idea with my colleague here, Dr. Mary and Omar, mentioned that people afraid from AI because they think that's going to replace human. It's not going to replace human. It's enhance human learning, and it's also creates, because we need programmers to do AI, so it creates jobs. And back to the questions about how we can offer AI for beginners. I mean, in my field, education, also Dr. Omar here mentioned something about teaching and learning and how we can integrate that. So we offer this knowledge at zero cost and to make it accessible for everyone, educators, teachers, students, employees as well in the workplace, to use it safely, productively, and creatively. And I have a couple of examples on AI, like applications and, of course, other platforms as well. We have the International Khan Academy, and they introduced in 2023 Khan Migo, which is AI tutor, or they call it AI learning assistant. And what does it enhance the learning, and it's already integrated in the classrooms and homeschooling in the United States and across the other countries as well. And it's as I mentioned before, it's not replacing human, but enhancing human learning. And also we have two other elements that maybe in most application AI are missing, which is emotion and experience. And there is a platform which they call it the user experience design, and they integrate those two elements. It makes it real. The learner feels it's like their own experience, their own journey. They have the motivation, the incentives, and the curiosity and confidence as well. So it's we can define it like it's an entire human experience with a product. It can be in any domain. It depends on your domain: education, engineering, medicine, etc. And you use AI as a method of delivery. And that would answer two important questions: how and why. Those two important questions usually trigger the learner's incentives to learn more. And with emotions and experiences, make it more, reliable and real. And the third example, we can say also the Duolingo, the language application, everyone knows that. And I mean, what I like about it, it depends, or it's based on gamification, learning by playing. You think you are playing. There are fun characters there. They have it on the application. And what they also do, different from other application or language application, they give dynamic conversation, simulating real-life conversation or context, and also adequate mistake learning for the learner to know more about their mistakes and why is that correct, why is that wrong. And because I use it myself to learn French, and sometimes when I don't use it for a couple of weeks or days, they give me notification that we are missing you, come back, don't stop. They motivate me. So I feel sorry when I see it pop up on my phones and say, let's go back and let me try this. So I mean, this kind of personal experience with the AI, it's motivating the learner to learn more. So this is what we can offer them as a start. Many applications there in the market.
Thank you so much. It's more interactive mentorship,
Yes.
direct learning, and it's in the pocket, so it's close to me and hands used. Thank you for the insights. And question to you, Dr. Ray Kapus, President, CEO, and Academic Director of the International Center for Advanced Review and Training. You hold a Master in Learning, Design and Technology from Pennsylvania State University and completed the AI program from Oxford University, created the Functional Concepts Method for test taking, where learner can answer 3 questions in license exams correctly using a single word or phrase. And it has since been adopted by healthcare professionals in 36 countries. Bravo. My first question to you is, which factor do you think is often overlooked when introducing AI? Thank you.
Okay, before I start, thank you very much. I love our group. We represent the world. Yeah, it's like we're gonna sing "We Are the World," right? Or maybe from Aladdin's theater. Yeah. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Okay, so I'm not here to sing, but I just would like to share a context why I went to AI. I'm a nurse by profession. I'm an educator, but I shifted into learning design and technology. There's one incident when we were crossing Fifth Avenue in New York. You know, New York is very multicultural, like Dubai. And so we were crossing down the streets. There are traffic lights. Apart from the color-coded lights, it has illustrations. It says, walk, and then it's colored green, and don't walk, it's colored red. And in the middle is a color yellow. So while we were crossing the streets, once we reached the center island, suddenly the traffic light changed from walk to don't walk. So everyone stopped except a fellow Filipino You know what he did? He ran as fast as he could to the other side of the street. So the policeman saw him, and the policeman reprimanded him and he said, "Didn't you see that man? It says there, don't walk." And to my surprise, my fellow Filipino said, "I didn't walk, I run." The most important thing that we have to remember when we're introducing AI is the ability of the learner to comprehend. And their comprehension could be in part affected by culture, because in the Philippines, maybe when you see the sign that says don't walk, maybe you can run. But that's how we are in our country. And that's not something that's true in other parts of the world. So the most significant, apart from that, is the ability of the learner to comprehend. Because at the end of the day, they will have to learn prompt engineering. And in a country such as ours, I hate to admit it, but the most recent data from the World Bank specifies that the learning poverty in the Philippines is 91%. Learning poverty is defined as 10-year-olds who don't understand what they read. So if these are the kinds of learners that will come to our higher education classes in the future, how do we introduce AI when they lack the basic foundational skills to understand and correctly and ethically use these learning tools? So I would go into that core of understanding the culture of the learner and their ability to comprehend. So those are my answers to the question.
Thank you so much. Very insightful to consider the cultural side and how diverse we are on this globe. And you have the second question for you, that it was like, what could be the specific cultural needs to consider in learning AI for beginners, and needs or specification we need to consider?
You know, just like what I always tell my professors back in my advanced studies in the US, we cannot learn the way Westerners do, because the worldview of the Easterner is entirely different from the worldview of the Westerner. And the way how we see and relate with AI tools is reflective of the worldview that we have. So Westerners are dualistic. You can criticize their work and they still would be good with you. Easterners are holistic. They look at their work as an extension of themselves. So you never criticize an Easterner, because a criticism into their work is taken as a criticism to their person. Which brings us to the fact that if we're going to use AI tools, Westerners would usually use it on an individual basis, because theirs is a dualistic mindset. For Easterners, we are more of the collective usage of tools. We share tools. That's why most Easterners do better in international testing because of that collective orientation. Whenever they learn something, even if the test would say you're not supposed to talk about what was given to you in the test, they would share to all their friends and peers. So, but that is a part of the culture. So the Eastern worldview is entirely different from the Western worldview, and that has to be acknowledged and recognized if we want them to use AI the proper way.
Thank you so much. It's part of, as I shared, I'm PhD candidate and I'm working on competencies for higher educator. And the culture obviously is part of the competency that we need to consider inside the room and outside the room. And the global north definitely is learning in different way than the global south. And it's time to share our thoughts from the global south and to speak up also and to share our particular way of being and learning. Thank you for the I have a question for the room. How many, just like to maybe to warm up or to see if you are with us or without, or you are inside your phones. How many of you have interacted with AI just this afternoon? How many? Oh, good. And how many used voice assistant? Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing the honesty. I'm not using voice assistant many, but I'm going back to Dr. Siham. I know that you are author,
Yes.
Yes, you are an artist, and you've authored between Souk and Moles, semiotic reading of the linguistic landscape of
Yes.
Saudi Arabia, and you host a podcast on social development. Um, this part of you as professor and also as author, how from your side and from this experience, how can you or can organizations, society, companies, universities, and all create supportive environments for AI adoption?
Yes, I think it's all start from the higher rank and goes down. So the higher rank or the leadership in the workplace should support AI and give free workshops, training to the staff. And I can answer these questions on two levels, internationally and nationally. So internationally, McKinsey, the consulting group, they conducted a survey in 2023, and the survey came out like 65% of organizations, they are using generative AI. And the big success here that they continue to invest in their employees by training them. So, I mean, AI is not a one-time workshop. It should be in a constant, because it's constant changing. So it should be every time. And also Microsoft, my friend here, Omar, mentioned that they use the Copilot. So they use the ADKAR, the change model to train their employees or the staff on that. And the ADKAR model is acronym, stands for, let me read it from here. It's ADKAR, so A stands for awareness, so they will give the why we use AI, and D stands for desire, so they will give them the motivation, and K stands for knowledge, so they will give them the perfect knowledge about and the background about AI and the skills that they need. And A stands for ability, the implementation in a good way, because there are different of implementation. And the last one is R, is reinforcement, sustainability. To sustain, as we said, is not a one workshop, it's continuous changing. And we have other companies as well. We have Hyundai, Open AI, and so on. And on the national level, if you allow me, I will talk about Saudi Arabia. So in Saudi Arabia, we have the Saudi Data and AI Authority, and it's established recently, I think 2020, and they have this initiative, 1 million citizen in AI. So they want to train 1 million Saudi citizen on how to use AI, professionally in their work and their daily life, and also how to have this back knowledge about ethics in AI. So that's very important. And also we have the Digital Cooperation Organization, also it's international, but it's in Saudi Arabia. And they do a lot of collaborations with other similar organizations around the world. And their main goal to sustain digital economy. Also, we have they call it SADAYA in Saudi Arabia, the Saudi Data and AI Authority, the short name for it is SADAYA. And they also established recently, let me read it from here because it's the Saudi Academic Framework for AI Qualifications. And that's focus on the higher education and universities. There are standards how to implement and have AI in your curriculum, and they have two main objectives. The first one is like a guideline. It's going to serve as a guideline for the development, evaluation, and accreditation of higher education programs in AI. The second objective is to establish minimum curricular requirements for higher education programs in the field of AI. So, I mean, the supportive environment starts with leadership saying, this is the tool, this is the equipment that you need for AI, and you go ahead and just learn, and they will get your back when you ever need, troubleshootings or, any backup help in AI, they will offer it to you. I mean, I think it's in all countries now. They have AI in their systems. If we will not use it now, I mean, we will miss a lot, because AI is, I call it the trends of 21st century. So, I mean, it's every day, every time.
Yes, thank you. I know that in Saudi Arabia, invested a lot to enhance the infrastructure of AI, and I worked with MISC Foundation with leaders there, and I know effectively that a lot of investment and projects, Sadaya and more. And you give us the right link to what Omar will share with us. We've heard that a lot of training, budget support, and at global and the country level. And I heard also training and on ethics, how to use AI. The link is, yeah, we do need all that, but what to make it safe? Yeah, what to make safe the usage of AI. It's good to have it, to use it as a booster of our competencies and skills. Yeah. But how about security? How about being safe in using all this technology, and about our data, how we keep our data safe? And this is my question to you, is maybe what the most misconception, and what do we need to secure the usage of AI, Dr. Omar?
So yes, one of the biggest concerns in every organization is security when it comes to AI, and it's huge. So the best things that you have to do, number one, is make sure that when your organization, before they introduce AI, make sure that you guys are in communication with your IT department. Your IT department needs to know before any executive or any board member makes a decision to pull that trigger, okay? The reason being is people need to be aware. We go back to awareness. Data privacy is a big thing. Data governance is a big thing. Now, if we don't train, going back to the training, our employees, our students, how to utilize this tool the proper way, a lot of data will be exposed. So the main thing is secure your infrastructure of your organization. There's a lot of barriers that you can put in place, a lot of tools that you can put in place to secure that. But the best way to secure that is training. We go back to training your employees, training your students, but most important, training your executives. Your executives need to know. Between you and I, that a lot of executives just sit behind a desk and make the decisions without thinking. So my philosophy has always been, okay, you think before you click. So infrastructure, make sure your data, okay, whatever your data is very private, make sure you engineers, your IT department, they segment that network to put it aside to all the other data. One of the examples that I'm gonna give you from my school, what I do is I have 2 providers. So the way I have it segmented in my school, I have one provider, which is the main provider that is feeding all the offices and all the teachers. With that said, the Copilot Studio, I also have it set up with that feature that only those people can access that data. Now, they're being trained that whatever each module, okay, has a different purpose. So they know that with Copilot also, the other thing is the data stays in-house. You don't go out to the world. So you train that tool in order to stay in-house, and when you train, like we're saying, you give the data, that's what you're gonna get back. So that's number one. Security, segment your network, okay? Train your employees. And aside from that, okay, make sure that the students, okay, are also trained and they realize about all their personal data. Because everybody, well, I don't know about here in Dubai, but in the United States, everyone has a cell phone. Everyone has those tools right here on their hand, which is basically a computer. You have all those applications that you download, stuff like that. But what happens is these students are exposing their personal data into these tools. And that's what I tell them that I call a digital tattoo, because it's gonna follow you for the rest of your life. So you're feeding all this bad stuff, your data into this. Now you're exposing yourself to out there. So the best thing is create all those barriers, put all those tools in place, create alerts, notifications, so that way if something happens, your IT department will notify you immediately. Make sure that you know that who is your response team. In case of a breach, in case of any exposure of that data, that response team needs to act quickly in order to stop whatever things are happening in your network and your organization.
Thank you. So it's training, raising the awareness about security, and securing the access. Thank you so much for the enlightenment. Dr. Mary, what changes do you expect AI will bring to your field in the next 2-3 years?
Probably, I think like in my field, okay, the only time that I use AI is probably, I find it really convenient. It is because like I use it to create materials that I want to, okay? It's because like there are a lot of available materials online, but usually most of them are not tailor-made to yourself, to your students and stuff. So then at the end of the day, I keep on making my own one throughout the past years, but since the appearance of AI, I start finding that I spend a lot less time on each material, so I can create more and a lot, okay? So as an educator, so I have to know what I want for that particular child, and then, oh, I know that he needs more of this. And also like in Hong Kong, there's a very funny, like, it's not funny, it's like a very interesting tradition. It's like every single school, they have their own special syllabus, okay? For, it's like, there's like local school, international school, private advanced schools, there are a lot of category, okay? So, and then you have to find that, okay, this person needs a different approach, and that person is also totally different. And by that, if you use one single curriculum to teach everyone, it's impossible. At the end, there will be just like, you know, failure and stuff, and you find a struggle too. At the end of the day, AI in my field, okay, it helps teacher to ease the workload a lot. If the teacher, like what all the guests saying, that know how to use the tool. Okay, so we, okay, as education leader, we try to help them understand the tools and in their own field, like in language, in science, in anything, then probably it would be like a lot like effective teaching.
Effective teaching, I loved it. Thank you so much. And before wrapping up, I would love to hear from the audience for the if you have any questions for our experts before wrapping up. 1 or 2 questions. We are on time, I think. We are. No, yeah, no rush. Okay. Question from the room. Not too many in the same time. Oh, we have one. Yeah, no, we can bring mic to you. No. Don't hurt your vocal cords. It's good. And if you can like design, your question is to.
So the question is to the whole panel, actually, because as educators, we are catering to different age groups. But with AI, what age do you think is the right age to start the introduction, like for early childhood educators, for nurseries? What do we do?
Maybe Doctor, you can.
Oh yeah, actually like before I came here, I have done really a lot of like researches concerning okay at what age is applicable, because I've taught like students from all age groups. Okay, so obviously like adults are okay, but actually even adults need to be educated how to use the tools as well. Okay, or else they will plagiarism and everything. So I think like for me, early childhood, okay, as I mentioned before, like and now they with co-viewing, that means they cannot do it themselves. Okay, from 3 to 6 years old, they cannot do it themselves. So primary primary schools, okay, you can teach them tools like maybe Canva, creating pictures and doing little things like that. And then, but once I think that at what age, it depends on whether the ethic is really there already. Like, okay, so that means like the school has into like, or like I'm thinking the course curriculum, like those leaders, they have to make sure that they know the ethics before they use any tools, okay? So they know that they have to, and they can't use it here, they can use it, how certain, how far you can use it. So all the limitations and stuff, I think is necessary.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Like I mentioned before, at my school, we start with pre-K students. And with the pre-K students, we don't start teaching AI directly, but we start with digital citizenship. You start so they can understand the dangers and the things that are out there. And the thing we do that is because if we don't start early, these kids will start on their own. And it's gonna be worse for us. So it's better to start training now because as you know, there's a lot of applications out there that already have AI built in. So it's better for them to be aware of what's out there than for them to discover themselves on their own and do bad things.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more?
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for this presentation. It's with you, Dr. Hassan Amari. I'm a higher education professional. My question is to you, obviously to the whole panel. How can we sort out the literacy and numeracy issue or challenge for 10 years olds using AI?
Thank you.
Now we have a lot of AI tools now that we can use to improve literacy. You have chatbots. But the most important thing, just like what our friend here, Omar, said, and of course, Dr. Mary, that before the children uses any AI tools, they have to understand the ethics. And I can't help but really to agree. There have been cases, in fact, one of my classmates at Oxford shared to us that in Spain, there was this young kid who was doing research work on suicide. And then she keeps chatting with the chatbot about suicide until it has become their normal conversation, such that a couple of months after the kid committed suicide. But this is not in isolation. There was one case in Florida of a teenager who fell in love with an AI chatbot, and the AI chatbot asked him to join him in her multiverse, and that's through committing suicide, and the kid committed suicide too. But there was also a 35-year-old married Belgian man who also got so emotionally involved with an AI chatbot, and the AI chatbot encouraged him to save the world from climate change by committing suicide, and he did commit suicide. So not until the children are ready to understand the ethics of using AI, and if we're going to go theoretically, I think that's third stage of Kohlberg's moral development theory, that we can now introduce universal ethical principle vis-a-vis AI tools, such that there has to be a parallel moving forward in terms of learning the ethics of it and using the tool. Now, the difficulty in terms of comprehension, the learning poverty. This is very unique. The causes are very unique in the countries. I can say in my country, our forefathers, great-great-grandfathers speaks better English than we do now because their teachers were U.S. soldiers, SS Thomasites, where they called Thomasites. So they speak better English than our generation. And it used to be that our generation, we learned how to speak Spanish. And because the educational system has changed and they reverted back to the local dialect, Filipino, in teaching major subjects, now they have difficulty comprehending English. So each country will have their own unique reason for the learning poverty that they're experiencing. But ours is really, we're second in Southeast Asia. We're just better than Cambodia with 97% of learning poverty. Of course, Singapore is the best with just 2% learning poverty. So the best thing is to start where the problem is. And we should begin at the grassroots level. And maybe, just maybe, if the government can just give its all-out support into coming up with the right AI tool that's specific to the culture of a country, then we can be successful. I hope I
Adapting,
answered
yeah.
your question.
Thank you so much. More questions?
Just one
Yes,
comment
yeah,
on my
okay.
friend here.
We do
So-
have also one more question.
So, relating to that AI, he just mentioned that this personal experience, it will know your personality, what you are suffering, what your desire, and will create a response according to that. And this has like two sides, positive, of course, and negative. And what we have here as an example, he just mentions, is negative, of course. This is, we need from the AI developers to pay attention to this problem, because it's maybe take this person or individual that are using AI to the extreme and ends their life, as we see. So it's good, and I think in the future, AI will be personalized more, but the good personalization, which is like we're gonna have different subcategories of AI, like AI for planning, AI for education, like gradings, feedback, subcategories, not AI like now for everything. We have one for just planning your trips or travel, give you plans. One gives you the best options for you, like shopping, what's best clothes that matches your character or your personality. So, I mean, it's good and bad. I mean, we are still discovering AI. Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Puneet Oza from Maritime NXT in Singapore. I just had a question specifically with regard to when I'm introducing AI to beginners. What I'm actually trying to do is effectively tell them what the result is looking like without explaining to them what the steps to that result are. How do you balance this idea that while you get AI to give you the answers, you have not really understood what has actually brought that answer about? So this is where the problem lies, especially in professional aspects where I involve myself in AI. Solutions are given, but nobody understands how the solutions are actually achieved or what steps are there to that solution, which means the basic fundamental concepts are missing. And then a generation goes into a different spain where they expect just answers to come automatically without understanding why these answers are being generated in the first place. How do you balance these two? That's a big challenge, yeah.
Okay, I think the problem that he's just mentioned is labeled in the AI parlance as the black box problem, which means you are given solutions, but the solutions, how they are created and how they are achieved are not explained. So even AI itself cannot explain how they come up with solutions. Remember, as they say, as the godfather of AI says, AI is idiot savant. It doesn't have a concept of truth. Whatever data you put into it is the data that it generates out. So data in, data out. So the most important thing that we have to be a little more cautious about when introducing AI, given that you are in that situation, is to adopt a constructivist learning environment. So a constructivist learning environment is where the teacher's role has changed from the sage on the stage to a guide on the side or a meddler in the middle, which simply means that rather than just delivering the lessons theoretically and then using AI tools to explain it further, we create knowledge with the learners, with AI tools, such that the learners are properly guided by the mentor who is now performing the role as a guide on the side and a meddler in the middle. So rather than just delivering or giving them the steps, how to use the AI tools, we have to do it with them, collaborate and create and curate knowledge using AI tools. That's my take on that.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, it's co-creating process, and that will be, we were going to wrap up in one sentence to two maximum. How could you wrap up our thought and sharing of today to give it as final thought or maybe even question to the room and to the audience as a next step? Yeah, we can reverse.
So just to wrap up, in one phrase.
One phrase.
AI is here. We don't have any choice. Let's embrace it.
Thank you.
Okay, I mean, one phrase, the question will be changed, not do you use AI, to what AI assistant are you using? Thank you.
I will say, don't be afraid. AI is already here. we got to jump on board now. If not, there's going to be a lot of issues later. So it's better to secure your systems now than later.
Thank you. She has.
Okay, as I mentioned before, and I will mention again about it later. So AI is always a supplement, but never a substitute. Okay, so we have to learn how to use it well. Thank you.
Thank you. I will add, reinvent our way of educating as educator, and with using AI and integrating all what you said, the culture, the security, the ethics, and the new ways, be creative. Let's empower the education within the AI. Thank you so much, and thank you for being here.